Hey guys, and welcome to Enthroned with Awaken Ministries, where today I'm actually not live. I'm pre-recording this in Dallas-Fort Worth. I'm downtown Dallas-Fort Worth traveling for ministry. I'll be in Houston this afternoon, and then back in Georgia to preach on Sunday morning, and then up in Indiana all next week traveling and preaching. But I could not bring you all a word today. So I just wanted to come to you all to encourage you just for a few minutes. It's amazing the gospel of Jesus Christ that we've been taught versus the one that is actually in reality. And it all comes through and to us by revelation, just by actually reading our word. And one of the things that we were kind of taught growing up, one of the things that we were taught about Jesus coming was that he came because we were so wicked. He came because we had fallen so short. And some of that in some light is true in some ways, but the greater truth is that he came to bear witness of the Father, to show us who the Father was. And one of the scriptures that I just really love is that in Luke 19:10, it says that he came to save that which was lost, not who that was lost. The drunk in the street is not a that's a who. And so while the drunk in the street does get saved, he came to save in that man that which was lost. He came to restore what that man had lost. That man had lost the image of God. That man had lost his purpose and his design. That man had lost something that was deposited in him before the foundation of the earth, and that was lost. So he comes to restore what we have lost. He comes to restore the image of God so that we can walk as the light of the world, not walking in need of love, but walking as love. In the garden of Eden, what we have is we have Adam. Adam is made in the image of God. God comes and walks with Adam every single day. And then woman is taken from Adam's side. He creates woman. He takes and makes her a mate for him and him for her. And she ends up eating of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and she gets a bad rap for that. But what's most awesome about that I'm starting to see and shift and change is, although yes, the woman was the one that believed it, she was the first one that believed it. And I want to help you with that, because it's amazing, women out there, because you all will believe faster and longer than men. But men come along and help bring a sturdy foundation. So I think we need to stop giving Eve such a bad rap for believing first. Whenever we walk through the Word, we see women all throughout the New Testament and the Old Testament that begin to believe faster and quicker than men do. And so women, thank you for believing. Thank you for being someone that believes quickly. And sometimes it leads us astray, but we need a firm foundation to help guide us. And so as they eat of the tree of knowledge and good and evil, they lose something. They lose something very important, very vital to us following God and us walking out our destiny and our purpose. Our destiny and our purpose is to make God known. But it's hard to make God known when we're living in me, myself, and I. And so they get stripped from the image of God. God shows up for the walk like he would every single day. And he says, Adam, where are you? Adam says, I was hiding because I was naked and I was ashamed. So shame enters in. Shame replaces identity. Shame replaces the image of God. God says, how did you know you were naked? Who told you? He says, the woman, we ate of the tree. And you know the story. But what's lost on that day is the image of God, because when God asks Adam, where are you? He's not asking physically, where are you? He's saying your image has changed. You don't look like me anymore. You look like something else. And so we walk from the fall of man. Most of us, we all walk born into sin, because we walk born into the fall of man. But we immediately have the opportunity to step in and be redeemed by the last Adam. The first Adam brought us into falling. The last Adam brings us into restoration. And so it's just so awesome and so empowering to think about the fact that Jesus came to save that which was lost, and it wasn't me, myself, that was lost. I lost something that made me in the image of God. If I can find that back, I'm now saved because Jesus came to be the light of the world. What do we need a light for? We need a light to actually see something. So when we start to think about this, what is it in the dark that we have lost that we need to see, and now we need a light to find it? It's the image of God. It's our purpose. It's our destiny. It's our calling. It's why we're here, what we're supposed to be doing. What are we supposed to be doing? You're supposed to be walking in the light as He is in the light. And when we walk in the light, He becomes our delight. He becomes our only purpose, our only focus, our only reason for living. And then it starts to destroy the mindset of what blesses me, because most become Christians for themselves instead of become Christians for Christ, to represent Christ, to die to self, to put on the image of God, to take off the image of man. Behold, old things pass away, all things become new. I'm a new creation in Christ, so that means I must look different than what I did before I encountered Him, before I gave my life to Him. It's about me laying down my life so others can find it. But I got to make sure that the life that I'm laying down in front of people is worth finding, that it brings restoration, that it brings life, that it brings hope, that it brings peace, that it brings joy, that it brings long suffering. We got to make sure that what we're laying down for others to find actually births something in them that looks like Christ. We cannot walk according to me, myself, and I, and what that I want and what that I desire, and we cannot live as good as it's going. We cannot live from situations or circumstances. We have to live as the light of the world. Situations and circumstances do not come Situations and circumstances don't stop coming just because you become a Christian, just because you become a believer. I believe they come more rapidly, they come more often. We just don't bow to them, so it looks different in our life. One of the amazing things that I've found in modern Christianity is largely in first world countries, we'll hear a message that talks in a way about giving your life to Christ, that if you'll give your life to Christ, if you've got marital problems, He'll restore your marriage. If you've got job problems, He'll restore your job. He'll give you a raise. If you've got family problems, He'll restore your family and give you hope and help with your family. But in third world countries where we have works, when somebody gets saved, we'll actually tell them, if you're married, you're probably going to lose your wife. If you have a job, you're probably going to lose it. If you have family, they're probably going to turn against you. And we actually teach that here in the States too, because the reality is that not everyone's going to understand you truly following God the way you're supposed to follow God, because there's been this persona put out there that you can still serve God in the world too, but He said, as a house divided against itself, it shall fall. And so we have to teach correctly that if you've got an unbelieving wife and you start to believe, don't expect things to go perfectly. Yes, God can work that out, and we've seen that happen, but like, you've got to walk into that understanding that I'm ready to die for this thing. I'm ready to die for Jesus in order to be the light of the world. I'm willing and ready to lay down everything I've ever held dear and near to me. It's not that we're rejecting things. It's not that we're laying off things. It's not that we're saying I'm not going to deal with my family anymore because they don't believe. It's saying don't expect them to cheer you on. Don't expect them to agree with you. Expect them to come against it, and you get to love them when they come against it, because you're the light of the world now. You're carrying the light of the world. He is in you. And people say, well, you don't understand. You don't know my family. No, but I know who's in you. Well, you don't know my situation, and you don't know my job. No, but I know who's in you. It's about who is in you. He that is in you is greater than he that is in the world. So it doesn't matter what's happening in the world if He is in you. If we're focusing inwardly on Him being in us, it doesn't matter about what's happening around us. It matters what's happening through us. And if I can't walk into a grocery store without getting upset because of something silly, they're out of my favorite dish, or somebody stole took the last cart, somebody cut in front of me in line, somebody took my parking spot. Like, we've got to just really get over ourselves and let the light of the world flow through us, and not be upset by circumstances and situations, because when it doesn't bless us, we often get mad. And when we get mad because it doesn't bless us, that lets us know we're walking in an unredeemed mind. And we have to redeem our mind by continually washing it with the Word. And so I want to encourage you that He came to save that which was lost. That which was lost was in all of us lost. but all had been redeemed to that which was lost. We have the power to step into this redemptive nature to put on what was lost. What was lost was the identity, who that I am in God. I'm a son, I'm a daughter, I'm the light of the world. I have the ability to make it. I can do this thing. We can get this done. We can love people well. We can stop living based on situations and circumstances, and we can love really, really well. So I'm not going to keep you much longer today. I just wanted to come with that short word that Jesus came to save that which was lost. And when you look at people, stop and listen. This is what will empower you. Because if you live in a life where you think the gospel is that he came to save each individual, you'll look at them as their individual flaws. But if you look at them as God came to save that which was lost, you now look at every single person as the same. If it doesn't matter their sin, it doesn't matter their outward appearance, it doesn't matter what's happening with them, it matters that he came to redeem something that was already put in them before the foundation of the earth, and he wants to bring it to the surface. So now all can be saved, all can be loved, because regardless of the measure of sin that they're walking in, if we restore them to that which was lost, they now are saved. They now can come to know Jesus Christ. They now can become a brother or sister in arms, and we can walk this gospel out and become a brighter light in a world that needs the light. So many people in this world have lost something. It's so dark, and it's such a great time to be alive when you've got the light. You just start shining the light on them and say, look at this, look at what you lost. Let me show you what this is, and come and follow Jesus Christ. He is the way, he is the truth, he is the life. So be encouraged. Go out and love people today. Go out and share the good news that you are worth saving because you lost something. The only reason that you were in the fall of man is because you lost something. We just need to pick back up what was lost, and now we can walk as the image of God. Hey, bless you all, and I'll see you on Monday. We'll be doing our podcast Monday at noon Eastern Standard Time with Pastor Seth. Bringing great subjects to you all to challenge your mind, to help you walk more like Christ, to bring beloved identity into your life, and to help you become who he created you to be, because you're worth it, you're valuable, and you're amazing. I bless you all in Jesus' name.